Welcome to Women's Sports Weekly, where women's sports happen every day, but we talk about it once a week. I'm Carolyn.
And I'm Danielle. Women's Sports Weekly is a podcast where we discuss the latest news, explore interesting stories, and share our love for women's sports. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at WomensSportsWeeklyPod. Follow us and rate us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Send us an email at WomensSportsWeeklyPod@gmail.com, and we may feature your email on the Les, our listeners' experience zone. We are celebrating 100 episodes next week.
Woo, woo, woo.
I still cannot believe it. For our 100th episode, we are hosting a Ask Us Anything. This week, we will post to our Instagram where you can reply and ask us anything you want, so don't be shy. You can also send us an email if social media isn't really your thing. We will answer questions on episode 100. Your questions must be submitted by Saturday, December 6th. Some have already been coming in, and I am excited for this episode. Appreciate everyone who's already asked us some questions. We're excited to answer next episode and hope we get a lot more.
I know last week I said we have discretion to choose whether we want to answer them or not, but I want some unhinged questions. That's what I really want. Something unhinged.
You would want that.
And I'll leave it up to our listeners to interpret. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was great. We started off the day with our run club and did a turkey trot together and had a brunch with everyone. And I just thought that was such a fantastic way to start off the day. And I had so much fun.
I love the people in our run club.
I know they are truly the best. Just made me very thankful. Having everyone gathered at our house in the morning, it was just, I just loved it. I can't really explain it, but it was so sweet and so nice. And I really enjoyed myself.
Yeah. I love our run club for a lot of reasons. Do I like the running? No. Do I love the people? Yes. Can these people make amazing food? Also, yes. I ate so well this past week with Thanksgiving. One of our run club members, Claire, made these scones that were just like the most delicious things. And I am a breakfast pastry kind of gal. That's my home run zone. And they were so good. I want to eat them every single morning. Then we had these amazing Cinnabons that weren't made, but were from this amazing bakery in Denver. And I'm not like a huge Cinnabon person, but the best Cinnabons I've ever had.
Same. Either am I. So I went in, I was like, I'll take a little bite, cut some up. I ended up just kept going back for more. And I probably had 2 by the time I was done going back for just another half. Oh my God. So good.
And then I think I popped about 45 deviled eggs in my mouth.
Yeah. Same, honestly. All so good. And those scones, I'm going to need that recipe.
Oh.
You brought them to bed the next morning with coffee, and I was like, oh my God, this is a power move, and it was amazing.
This is heavenly. And then we had turkey dinner at a run club member's house, Carol, and she made this turkey and she smoked it, and it was the most delicious turkey I've ever had.
Agreed. It has to be the best turkey I've had, and the leftovers were so good as well. Oh my gosh, so much good food.
Oh, yeah. This time of year, it's just such a wonderful time to eat good food with people you love. And that's just so nice.
It really was a nice day. It's also getting properly cold here in Denver. I've been saying all fall. It doesn't feel like the holidays are coming, but it certainly has come, and it is here in time for the holidays.
And with a little bit of cold, I hopped into our sauna blanket. Nothing like a good sauna blanket. I want a sauna so bad. We have no room for a sauna.
No.
There's not, and like no money. Let's get real. If we ever make it big on this podcast, we won't tell you. We probably will, because I can't keep my mouth shut. But there will be signs, and one of the signs will be a big old sauna.
Yep.
I have a crew in Denver that I like to sauna with, and we've talked about like we should just all go in and get a sauna, and then that person's house is just like open. We can all go whenever. But I do love to sauna. My dream world would be a sauna in the backyard with an outdoor shower. I don't want a cold plunge. I've done cold plunge. I get it. I like it. It's nice. I want an outdoor shower that I can put on cold and then do like hot, cold, but real quick. Just quick little rinse cold back into the sauna.
That sounds really nice. One day.
One day. That's what I want. But yeah, such a great week. Happy Thanksgiving to you all. We hope you enjoyed as well. And let's get into the highlight reel for the week.
The other great thing about the holidays that is sports related is there's always tournaments surrounding the holidays. It's just a chance to watch more sports, which we love. There's usually pretty good matchups, and we saw a lot of great matchups in the Players Era Championship held in Las Vegas this past week/weekend.
It featured at the time number 2 South Carolina, number 3 UCLA, number 4 Texas, and Duke, who is no longer ranked. LOL to my Final Four prediction.
Yeah.
It's still very early in the season, but yikes, fell out of the top 25. But let's get into this just a little bit more. So just for showing up to this tournament, every team roster received $1 million of NIL money to disperse among the players. So that's about $75,000 each just for showing up to the tournament. And they had to do additional things besides just play. They try to make it so it's not a pay to play, but let's be real.
Yeah.
They have to do some social media engagements on top of it. They need to do certain things in order to get the money, but $75K to show up to and play in a tournament.
Hey, when in Vegas.
When in Vegas, I know, it's crazy. If you win in this tournament, then you get paid more. So we'll talk about who won in this tournament, but everyone gets to take home a little bit more than that $1 million on top of that. So in the first matchup of these 4 teams on the women's side, it was Texas and UCLA. Texas ended up beating UCLA 76-65. And South Carolina beat Duke 83-66. So then the final matchup on Thanksgiving was Texas versus South Carolina. Both teams were undefeated in this game, and unfortunately for me, Texas won 66-64.
And this is such a great matchup. They're both teams from the SEC. They were both in the Final Four last year. They always battle it out. I said to you, it's crazy that they're playing in this tournament because they're going to see each other so many times this season. But this is just the start of a great rivalry between these two teams this year.
And I really like Texas, so it's hard. Like, I love Vic Schaefer. I really like the players on the team. I'm not saying I'm rooting for them, but in any other game, I'm rooting for Texas. So this game actually came down to a game winner. With just under 15 seconds left, the game was tied at 64. Texas has the ball. Rori Harmon brings the ball up the court. And with about 5 seconds remaining, she drives and hits a mid-range jumper with about 0.7 seconds left.
She's already been so fun to watch this year. Even in the game against UCLA, she played great. So leave it up to her to hit that shot.
In this game, she became Texas's all-time assist leader. She finished with 9 assists and 6 points. So more assists than points. We kind of love to see that for a point guard, but made the shot when it was big for Texas to score, go up, and then South Carolina wasn't able to answer. For South Carolina, Tania Latson and Joyce Edwards led the Gamecocks with 16 points each. However, Joyce Edwards didn't score any points in the fourth quarter. Rough to see. 6'6" transfer center Medina Okot had a double-double for the Gamecocks. We do love to see that. It's great to have a big back at South Carolina. But for Texas, like we mentioned, Rori Harmon had the game winner. And then Jordan Lee was their top scorer with 19 points. Like you mentioned, South Carolina and Texas are going to face off in the SEC. They see each other in their SEC game in January.
It will be a good one. All those games are going to be great and definitely one you'll want to see.
And all of them leave with some money in the bank.
Love to see that as well. The next game we'll cover is another women's basketball game. This past Sunday, UCLA played Tennessee. I was hoping this would be a closer game. I was rooting for Tennessee. For obvious reasons, I've always been on the Tennessee train, continue to be. And sadly, UCLA won 99-77.
Yes, Tennessee was ranked 14 at the time. UCLA was ranked number 3 at the time. And it was close at some times, but then it just really wasn't at others.
I think Tennessee was a little frustrating for me to watch because they would go on some runs, go on some spurts, and then they would just turn the ball over a million times. And UCLA just did whatever they wanted. So that was a tough one for me. I just felt like they were a little discombobulated on offense.
Tennessee is usually the one forcing turnovers, and they just had a ton of turnovers in that game. I don't know. Do you think it is something with how they run their offense, how they do that hockey subbing of 5 in, 5 out? I just feel like it's difficult to get to know everyone on the team. Like when you know your people and their positions and where they are, you get to know tendencies, and they have to know a lot more tendencies because of the amount of subbing.
I don't know. I'm assuming they practice that way and it's worked for them in the past. It's only Kim Caldwell the head coach's second season, and she led them in a great season last year. So I don't know. I feel like there's new players on the team. They're still just trying to get in their flow with the new players and figuring out what the system is.
I think you have to recruit people who would do really well in that system, right? And like you said, it's just so early in the season. They might just need some more time to iron it out.
Yeah. But getting into this game a little more, UCLA closed the second quarter on a 13-2 run. I feel like this is where things started to get a little dicey for Tennessee. Going into halftime, UCLA was up by 10, 49-39. I really thought the Vols were going to come out strong in the third quarter, and I felt like they did. Like, they had a few buckets back to back, but again, with the turnovers, they had 9 turnovers just in the third quarter. You were sitting there in your little sauna blanket yelling, like, another turnover? And it's true. UCLA was able to capitalize on that, and they outscored Tennessee 27-17 in that third quarter.
It was sloppy.
Very. One thing I noticed about Tennessee, and this is so random, but back to our Jersey roots, I have to shout them out. There's 2 freshmen on the team. They're twins, Mia and Maya Paldo. And because we're from New Jersey, I am going to give them a shout out. Freshmen on Tennessee. They went to Morris Catholic from Patterson, New Jersey. And one of them was Gatorade Player of the Year. Pretty cool to see. And I hope good things for them.
And UCLA also has a pair of sisters.
Yeah, but
not
we
twins.
haven't seen Sienna Betts in yet. She's been injured. Another thing that I thought was interesting to see for Tennessee was Janiah Barker on the court wearing orange at UCLA because she transferred from UCLA last year. After the game, she did not shake Corey Close's hand. So that was very interesting. I wonder what happened there.
Clocked it.
But she led the Vols with 25 points, but still wasn't enough for them.
If you were a coach and someone didn't shake your hand that you coached before, what would you do?
It's hard because I don't know what their backstory is. Like, why is she so pissed at Corey Close?
I know.
I don't know. It would really depend. Anyways, getting sidetracked here. We don't want to speculate, but a few key players for UCLA in this game. We have to talk about senior Gabriela Jaquez, who led all scorers with 29 points. This was a season high for her, and she was just 1 point shy of her career high. But at the end of the game, they were winning by so much, and it wouldn't have made sense to keep her in. We didn't want to see anyone get hurt there. She was 5 for 6 from the 3-point line.
That's a reason not to give Corey Close a high five, not to put her back in to score that extra point. I'm just kidding. I'm so happy she didn't put her back in because I think the moment you put someone back in to get a scoring record is the moment they get hurt for the rest of the season.
Yeah, it's not worth it. And then you have Kiki Rice, senior from UCLA, who recorded a double-double. She ended with 20 points and 11 rebounds.
She looked amazing in this game.
Yep.
Like, just doing whatever she wants. And I remember watching her at the Final Four last year, and she got shut down a little bit. But if this Kiki Rice can do this the whole season, I think UCLA will be in a really good position.
I agree. And then you have Gianna Neepkins, who's a grad student, and she transferred from Utah. She is such a nice ad for UCLA. She's
so nice.
Killer from the 3-point line. She barely misses. She finished with 19 points, and she was 4 for 6 from the 3-point line. Like, I just felt like I kept hearing her name for three. So that's a deadly add-on for them.
Yeah, and if you think about if they can get the ball inside to Lauren Betts, who gets double teamed pretty much every time, that means someone's open. And to have Neepkins on the outside to hit those threes is just so good for UCLA.
Yeah.
I need to talk about my favorite player, though, on UCLA.
Yeah, go for it.
Here we go. Here comes a rant. Megan Grant on UCLA. She sits all the way at the end of the bench. I freaking love her. She plays softball for UCLA. And she's a baller at softball, All-American, first team All-American. She comes and she plays basketball. She got in this game. She did not score. She missed a layup that was so open. However,
it was a putback. It wasn't a layup, first of all. It was a putback. She had someone under her that she tripped under after the girl just smacked her head against the floor. So give her a little more credit. She should have scored it. But she also sat the bench for the whole 40 minutes, came in at the last 30 seconds.
That's right. She scored her first 2 points against North Carolina a little while back. She danced after she scored. She did not get back on defense. She is my favorite player in all of NCAA basketball right now. If UCLA wins a national championship, it's because of Megan Grant being on their team.
And that is the most ridiculous statement I've ever heard. Sorry, Megan Grant. Maybe if you win a softball championship, we can say that, but no.
I stand by it. Clip it.
All right. With that, let's talk about some updates for Women's Sports Weekly, starting with Run Club. We have Run Club every Thursday night at 6 p.m. at the 99ers Sports Bar here in Denver. If you listen to our podcast, we share a secret word each week. And if you share the secret word with the bartenders after a 3-mile run, you will get 50% off your first draft. Our secret word this week is turkey.
Oh, I was going to say Megan Grant.
No. Turkey, if you're listening.
All right. We also have to take this time to ask you to please rate and subscribe to our podcast. We truly love doing this. We've done it for 99 episodes. We're doing it for 99 more at least.
At least one more to get to 100.
Okay. We're doing it for at least one more. We love to put the podcast together. We want to continue to do it. We create, produce, and edit the podcast all by ourselves. So if you want to support us, please rate, subscribe, give us a positive review, and share this podcast with someone you love. You can also share it with someone you hate. Maybe someone you hate loves women's sports. Tell them about us. Thank you to everyone who has rated the podcast so far. If you send us a screenshot of your 5-star rating, we will send you a Women's Sports Weekly sticker. Send over those screenshots. We need to get some more stickers out into the world.
Yes, please do.
All right, one last highlight for the week. Let's get into the U.S. Women's National Team versus Italy.
This is part of the friendlies schedule. We love that we get to watch the U.S. Women's National Team throughout the year playing different games, and this was really a fun one to watch.
We are going to talk about the game on Friday. We won't cover Monday night's win, which closes out the U.S. Women's National Team play in 2025.
So let's dive into Friday night's game. So the U.S. did win this game 3-0, and like the U.S. does, they scored their first goal in the first 90 seconds. We have talked about this before. One time I was baking. I didn't even realize, I got caught up, didn't realize the game started. I run into the living room and it was 2-0 and I was like, oh, this is just highlights. And nope, it was just them scoring quickly. So when they scored one so quickly on Friday, I was like, I'm not surprised at all. I don't know what kind of setup they have at the start of the game that they're able to score a goal so immediately, but it's pretty amazing that they're able to do that.
I have to think it's a play drawn up.
I know, but to be able to execute that at that level is just incredible. To be able to do that against other teams, like, why haven't they figured it out?
I know. What's the scouting report? And I said to you this past Friday, I was like, they must have it drawn up, and then they must say, you cannot take this to your professional team. We cannot let this get out of what we do within the first 2 minutes of the game. We have to keep it close hold so that we can continue to score.
Yeah, very curious.
So the goal was scored, and it's all started with NWSL Rookie of the Year, Lily Reel, who found her Gotham teammate Rose Lavelle. Lavelle then passed to Alyssa Thompson out wide, and she's just so fast she can just get to every ball. Alyssa Thompson passes it back to Rose Lavelle, who slots it over to Olivia Moultrie, and Olivia Moultrie scores. And I'm just so happy for Olivia Moultrie doing so well on the U.S. Women's National Team and taking such a good professional season with Portland.
And Rose Lavelle was such a big part of that play. No surprise after she was named MVP of the NWSL Championship with her goal. So having her assist this goal was pretty cool. She's just an unbelievable player. And yes, Olivia Moultrie being so young, it's been really cool to see her thrive.
And this was a more experienced roster for the U.S. Women's National Team, and they really just dominated the entire game. In the 64th minute, Sam Coffey dribbles down, passes it to Kat Macario. Kat Macario just fires a shot, and the U.S. is up 2-0. But she's not done yet, because in the 76th minute, she gets a pass from 18-year-old Lily Johannes, and Kat Macario scores again. I freaking love Lily Johannes in the midfield. I cannot believe she's only 18 years old. She plays so composed, and she does whatever she wants with the ball. She gets it to Kat Macario, and Kat Macario knows how to finish it. For Kat Macario, this was her 15th goal in 28 international appearances. She has also been involved in 18 goals in her last 14 U.S. appearances.
That's incredible. And we had a feeling she was going to score because she was just on the ball in Italy's side so often. It was between like three people, and you're like, one of them is bound to score a goal at some point, and then she scores two. She's such a fun player to watch.
And then the back line, Naomi Girma is back. She played so incredibly well. There was a point where Italy had a breakaway and Naomi Girma sprinted down the field. No sign of an injury there. stopped the goal from scoring. It was an incredible defensive play. She was wearing the captain armband in this game. And I was just like, oh, it feels so good to have her in the back. I just feel so secure. And she's just such an amazing player. And honestly, I know she's younger than me, but I just like really look up to her.
She's shorter too.
I really look down up to her. I am really excited for where the U.S. Women's National Team is headed in 2026 under Emma Hayes. It's been such a fun year watching them evolve under her style of play, and so many new players getting chances. And it is an embarrassment of riches of who is going to be that starting 11 come World Cup time, come qualifying time for the World Cup. All of those questions still need to be answered, but it's so fun to watch along the way.
I agree. And the announcers were talking about during the game, I believe they said there's been like 27 players with their first cap under Emma Hayes. The point being that she does play a lot of players and gives people chances. I just don't think that's done a lot. Like, you don't really see that in soccer. So I love that approach, and they're doing well while they're doing it.
Yeah, we love Emma Hayes. Let's get into what we're looking forward to this week. Danielle, what do you have for us?
I'm looking forward to an NCAA women's basketball game tomorrow, which is Thursday, December 4th. The Texas Longhorns, who we were just talking about earlier in this episode, will take on the UNC Tar Heels at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. These are top 25 teams. I think it will be a good matchup, and excited to watch them play. How about you?
Yeah, you got to watch Texas because I think they're headed to a Final Four. So start watching them now. I am looking forward to the PWHL. On Sunday, December 7th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, the Minnesota Frost play the Boston Fleet. We're going to talk about some more hockey here coming up. And that's all we've got for you today. That is it for this week. We will see you next week on Women's Sports Weekly. In the meantime, watch women's sports and share the podcast with your friends. Rate and subscribe to the pod on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. Thanks for joining us.